back, everybody. This is Living in Arizona Now, and today we're going to do the list of the top 7 places to live in Arizona 2023, starting out here in the Phoenix metro area, which includes Chandler, Gilbert, Scottsdale, Peoria, Surprise, Glendale, all the big cities that you can imagine, including Scottsdale. To the north, you have Cave Creek. Phoenix Metro is where all of the entertainment is, and this is the big hub with the big airport at Sky Harbor. We have made a video about the top 7 places to live in Phoenix Metro from the last 2 years. If you want, we can make a new one, but I'll also link to that old one right below. Now, my favorite cities just off the top are going to be overall in the southeast side of Phoenix, in particular Chandler, Ahwatukee area. You've got Gilbert, Mesa has some nice areas, and then if you wanted to pay a little bit more, you can go up towards Scottsdale. Downtown Phoenix is also amazing, so definitely take a look around Phoenix if you're thinking about moving to Arizona. Next up, we're headed up to the Verde Valley. The Verde Valley includes places like Cornville, Cottonwood, Jerome, Camp Verde, Clarkdale. And the reason it's called Verde Valley is because the Verde River's headwaters go right through this little area down off of the Mogollon Rim, which is just above Sedona, the Red Rock country. So that's really where the headwaters begin for this tributary. The area has been growing rapidly over the last 3 decades in a sustainable way, sitting right there along the banks of the Verde River. On both sides, you can find affordable living situations and cheap land. We don't know how long that will last, but the Verde Valley is definitely a place that is in position to continue growing into the 2023 year. Now, if you do elect to check out this area for a possible residence, keep in mind it still does preserve its small town atmosphere, and the locals would insist upon maintaining that. If you're someone who needs rush hour traffic, the hustle and bustle of horns honking, Verde Valley, Cottonwood, Clarkdale, that's not going to be for you. This is still a very small town atmosphere, so keep that in mind. Also, there were Native Americans who were living on the banks. You'll see several different ruins like Tuzagut, which is nearby, but they were all attracted to this Verde River, and the reason it's called the Verde River is because Verde means green in Spanish. And now we'll head up the way from the Green River, the Verde, to Sedona, which actually sits along the banks of Oak Creek. And if you go up above Sedona, you go into Oak Creek Canyon. But Oak Creek leads you towards Sedona and this flat area just outside the Red Rocks, which really creates this picturesque setting in the mornings, in the afternoon, and at night that makes Sedona such a magical place. It is hard to live out here because it's expensive, and finding accommodation because of zoning regulations makes it difficult, which is a good thing because it preserves the area, but it makes it difficult for you who may be trying to move there. I'm not saying you can't, but if you can live in Sedona, you're going to really feel the small town atmosphere that they've been preserving. As you can see, we're just walking around uptown Sedona. There's much more to the area, such as the residential districts. You also have the cathedral in Sedona, but really when you start to find the magic of Sedona is when you're going into the neighborhoods and you're seeing the deer and the javelinas and the natural environment that blends in with the modern world. This is all part of the zoning restrictions that they have in place maintain and preserve this beautiful area on Earth. And you can see the recreational areas around Oak Creek, such as Slide Rock right here. But the more you go up into Oak Creek, you explore it, the more you want to preserve it and protect it. And it doesn't matter the season you're up here, whether it is winter or spring or summer, you're still going to find a reason to really appreciate the area. People up here live a very active lifestyle with biking or golfing, going out hiking, just a very active overall lifestyle. Also, a very strong art community here. There isn't much public transportation out here, so keep that in mind, but they do have the Verde Shuttle, which will take you from Cottonwood in the Verde Valley to Sedona. So that's a good thing, right? Next up, we're going to head south and explore the second largest city in Arizona, Tucson, also known as the Old Pueblo. So Tucson is unique in the sense that it sits at a higher elevation than Phoenix, but a lower elevation than the Verde Valley. So it has more mild temperatures, but it doesn't get quite as cold as the Verde Valley. Also, it's a lot more laid back here. They don't have a major airport. They do have an international airport, but it's nothing like Sky Harbor. Also, the freeway system is just not that efficient. I mean, if you consider I-10 going north to south with a little bit of east involved in it being a high-speed freeway system, then sure. But other than that, don't expect too much hustle and bustle down here. Even the downtown area of Tucson, very sleepy. But what people are drawn to are the Catalina foothills, living there at the base of these mountains. You get wildlife in your backyard, especially the closer you are to the Catalinas. Even if you go up towards Oro Valley, another very beautiful place. So taking a look at Tucson obviously is worth it, especially if you want to save a little bit of money, stay a little bit cooler, and don't want the hustle and bustle of Phoenix. It's also home to the University of Arizona Wildcats, so if you have family looking to go to college, they may end up picking the U of A. Obviously, Arizona State University, being in Tempe, is in the Phoenix metro area, but it's a beautiful campus and it's a prestigious school. Some of the things that Tucson is really known for is the Air Force with Davis-Monthan Air Force Base. There's also an aircraft graveyard, so if you get to go here, go to the Pima Aviation Museum. Also going up to Mount Lemmon. And on top of Mount Lemmon, there is a town and there's also a ski resort. But nonetheless, going up to the top of Mount Lemmon when you're in Tucson is definitely one of the top things to do. And from Tucson, we're going to head back to northern Arizona. This time we're going up above the mile-high city of Flagstaff, sitting at an elevation of 7,200 feet. It's a mile high. That's higher than Denver, actually, and it sits right at the base of San Francisco Peak. Some people call it Humphreys Peak, 12,000 feet elevation. And Flagstaff is home to NAU, Northern Arizona University. It is a boom town that's taking place out here in Flagstaff. Yes, it's alpine. Yes, it reminds you a bit of Denver or some of the other towns in the Rockies. Right here in Arizona, up on the Colorado Plateau, because that's actually where it sits. The name of the plateau where Flagstaff and other northern Arizona high elevation communities sit, right there off of the Four Corners. But as we walk around downtown Flagstaff, you can see they got lots of breweries, cafes, pubs. Really a place to hang out on the weekends. Rain, snow, or shine, you can always find some action down in Flagstaff's downtown area. It's right next to the railroad, actually, and Route 66. And if you do consider moving to Flagstaff, whether it be full-time or just in the summer months to beat that heat down in Phoenix, you might want to start with a hotel stay at Hotel Monte Vista right here in downtown, or you could stay at one of the many new ones. It's really got a lot of options here. But again, going into the communities, going into the towns, seeing what's going on, testing out that 115 degree temperature in Phoenix, and then escaping in that same day to Flagstaff for 88 degrees with a little bit of showers in the evening, really can be kind of refreshing. Homes in Flagstaff are a bit more expensive than you'll find in Phoenix or Tucson, so keep that in mind. But you can see we're just walking around. They have the night market, really a peaceful place up here in Flagstaff. And yeah, we're not going to get into how they got the name, but you can guess that it was probably a flag that was standing right there along the Route 66. And they're like, hey, go there where there's a Flagstaff. And hey, if rock climbing's your thing, you can go over to a rock gym right there in Flagstaff. All right, next up, we're heading over to Prescott, another mile-high destination. This one's a little bit lower elevation, but it sits just above Prescott Valley, which is a surrounding area, and Chino Valley. And then you have the Prescott National Forest, which is absolutely high elevation. That area is known as the Bradshaw Mountain terrain. You can actually take from Flagstaff to Crown King through the back roads down into Phoenix, which is quite an interesting trek along the Senator Highway. I would just put that in there. But down here in Prescott, you're going to find a Yavapai College, for those of you looking to do some college. But they do have the downtown area known as Whiskey Row, many lakes, where people like to do stand-up paddleboarding, they like to do canoeing, go out kayaking, whatever it is that you like to do on the water. Prescott does have a more Victorian home feel to it, I have discovered. Also, homes tend to be a bit pricier. They have said that many people from California are picking Prescott to live because of the mild climate. It gets a little bit of snow dusting in the winter time, and it gets nice and brisk hot also in the summertime. So, you know, this variety of 4 seasons in a really nice, peaceful environment. This is Prescott. You can see it also used to be the capital of Arizona before it was moved to Phoenix. And most of what you just saw there was Whiskey Row and downtown Prescott. Now we're going to show you some of the outdoor environment where they do the kayaking and the canoeing and just the outdoor activities. They got Watson Lake, several other lakes out here, but also there was gold found out at Lynx Lake, and people still go out there to this day to go look for gold, panning. And now we're going to head out west and hit up Lake Havasu City. This is right there on the Colorado River, one of the largest river systems in all of the country. They've dammed it up. It has Lake Powell and Lake Mead upstream, but even down here at Lake Havasu, they have a dam here and the Parker Dam. So many different dams right here along the Colorado River, but there's still water, and it's a beautiful waterway as it is. It does lead all the way into the Gulf of California, which is down there by the Baja, Mexico. Now, there are a few different areas around Lake Havasu that you can also live. Parker, there's also several areas along the Colorado River in between Parker and Lake Havasu City, but the main destination is going to be Lake Havasu City, where the London Bridge is. Yes, it is the same bridge that they had in London. They broke it down, took all the bricks, and brought it over here to the Colorado River right there in Lake Havasu City, and it takes you out to this island. But right there where that island is, where the London Bridge is, really a popular place. It kind of reminds me of being in Florida at one of those panhandle beach towns like Destin or Panama City, because it's got that kind of vibe with all these boats coming in and out. Now, they have Trek home communities where you can get nice, beautiful, modern homes, but they also have trailer parks. They also have mobile home parks. People come out here with their RVs in the winter, getting away from their cold climates. So it's really a diverse environment for where you're going to be zoned in terms of your residence. Now, after you've seen all of these places, you've seen Lake Havasu City, Prescott, Phoenix, Tucson, Flagstaff, Verde Valley. You tell us in the comments below which one interests you the most. And if you guys want us to make more videos like this, drop a comment below making a suggestion about what you would like to see. So thank you to everybody who watched this one, and we will see you guys on the next one.